Hi guys and welcome to DIY Ideas. Today we are doing a basic video for beginners. Today I will show you how to do half double crochets, and I will use this my Bushy wool number 1. It's 50 grams and 55 meters, and you can put it in the washing machine. It's 70% polyacrylic, 30% wool, and it's a nice mix for the winter. It has a certification here of being eco-friendly. And this color is called Ocean Blue 153. It's meant for a hook size 6 to 7, and we're gonna actually use a size 6 hook. So perfect. And so basically, last week I showed you how to start with crocheting, basically. How to do simple stitches, chain stitches, and single stitches. And so what we're going to do now is half double crochets. They're slightly larger stitches. And I'll show you how to do this very slowly and very easily. So we're going to start with some chain stitches. We're going to still do this very slowly so you can see exactly what I'm doing. So we take the thread and loop it around the index and middle finger. And there's a cross right here, and then with the hook we will pull through the thread. We'll take out the fingers at the same time, and we will pull it tight with the fingers down below. So here we have a pretty big noose, and if I pull on the thread you can see that it gets much smaller until it's close to the hook. Obviously not too tight, it still has to be loose, but pretty tight. Okay, so yeah, it has to still move around quite easily. Then we're going to do some chain stitches. We pull the thread through and pull it through the noose. So we push the hook out, loop it around so we can pull the thread through the noose. Okay, here we have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, so we did 12 chain stitches. And so we take some more yarn. So I didn't say anything about how I put this thread around my hand. So you can see I put it here between my pinky and ring finger, and then I loop it around my index finger once. So we just did 12 chain stitches. And now we're gonna do 12 half double crochets backwards, okay? So we're gonna do some chain stitches more for height, so we'll do 2 here. 2 chain stitches are more or less the same height as a half double crochet. 1 chain stitch is a single stitch, and 3 chain stitches equal the height of about a double crochet. Okay, that's always kind of the case. That's a good thing to remember. So these first 2 are just here for height, so we're going to go backwards into the 3rd stitch, okay? Let me show you that again. We will loop the thread once around the hook. You can see me doing it slowly here, okay? And then we go into the 3rd stitch from the row before, and then we pull the thread through. Now you can see we have 3 stitches here on the hook. And so we take the thread and pull it through all 3, okay? Then we loop the thread around the hook once more. We go into the next stitch and we have the same situation. We have 3 threads on the hook, and I will pull the thread through, and then we have it on the hook 3 times and then pull it through all 3. And now you can see we have 2 half double crochets already. You have kind of like the sides are a little slimmer and the middle part is a little thicker. And here on the top you kind of have the V shape, and that's the new stitch for the next row, okay? So for the next row we will poke through right there. Okay, so we loop the thread around the hook, go through, pull it through, and then pull the thread through all 3. Now we have 3 half double crochets. Loop the thread, poke through, pull the thread. Now we have 3 and we pull the thread through all three. Okay, loop it around, poke through, pull the thread through once, and then pull it again through all three. We'll take some more yarn here and continue. So loop it around, poke through, pull the thread through once, and then pull it again through all three. Loop it around, poke through, pull it through once, and then pull it through all three. Loop it around, poke through, pull it through once, and pull it through all three. And you can see this is what we've been doing. This is how the row is going to look. It's always the same structure. It's always the same pattern. Looks exactly the same with every stitch. And you can see here on top what it looks like also. So poke through, pull the thread, and then pull through all three. Okay? It's always the same motion for every row. And then, oh, here kind of the thread unraveled a little bit. We'll do that again. And through all three. Loop it around, poke through, pull it through the first one, and then pull the thread through all three. So this is our first row. This is what it looks like. And what just came to my mind, it's very important that here in this loop that we just have around this hook right here, this is where you basically save the whole situation. So if the hook is inside and you pull on the thread, nothing happens, it's all safe, we're good. But if the hook is not in there and we pull on the thread, you pull loose this whole row that we just did. So it's very important to leave the hook inside, or that if you need the hook for something else, you put something else inside. Something could be another hook, could be something else, so that the thread cannot be pulled out. Or it could be a clip, it could be anything really, just so you can make sure that you don't pull apart everything you just did. Okay, that's very important. Okay, so we will do now the second row. We will do chain stitches here, 2 chain stitches, that's for height. We turn it around, and then here we have the nice stitches that we just made. And that's what we're going to poke in now for this row. Okay? And so we loop it around, we poke through the first stitch underneath these 2 threads on top. These 2 threads on top are what a stitch consists of, okay? We loop it around, poke through, pull the thread through one, and then pull the thread through all 3. Okay? We loop the thread around, poke through the stitch, okay? Then pull it through the stitch, and then pull it through all 3. So I'm kind of tilting it towards the camera a little bit so you can see it a little better. But you don't really have to do that. You don't have to look at the top, obviously. Usually you will just go right through. I'm just tilting it so you can see it better in the camera. So I'm just going to do it now more naturally, maybe. Okay. So you can see how quickly you gain height here. You can see the really even structure. You can see kind of this line more or less. That's the top of the half double crochets from the row before. And so loop it around, poke through, pull the thread through one, and then through all 3. And so I'm kind of pulling the fabric a little bit apart so you can kind of see where you have to poke the hook through. So that's exactly where you go in. All these little holes that you can see, that's exactly where you have to poke in the hook. I just forgot to loop the thread around. So without this loop around, we would be doing single crochets. Okay, not half doubles. And with this loop around, everything gets a little bigger. That's what makes up a half double crochet. Okay, so we're almost done here with row number 2. And loop around, poke through the last stitch, and pull it through one, and then pull the thread through all 3. So now this row is done as well. You can see that we started here with the little chain stitches and we end with the half double crochet. So we'll do one more row here. We will do 2 chain stitches, turn it around, and then go into the first stitch of the row before. We're going to take some more yarn, and I'm actually going to do this a little faster now so you can see what it looks like when you're doing it normally. Okay. Loop around, poke through, pull through 1, pull through 3. Loop around, poke through, pull through 1, poke through 3. What you can see now as I'm doing it faster, you can kind of see that it varies a little bit of how I hold the hook. So I turn it around and you can see now that it's facing downwards because it's easier this way to pull the thread through these 3. Otherwise, sometimes you get stuck a little bit. It's very gentle, very, very slight movements. That is very much automatic. With a little bit of practice, you will do the same thing. Yeah. I don't even think about it, honestly. And this is the last one. And you can see this 3rd row here. So that was a little introduction of how to do half double crochets. You can see that really quickly you gain a lot of height. And you can do scarf with this, or you can do hats. Thank you for watching DIY ideas. I hope you liked this video. If you would like to watch more, please visit my channel and subscribe for free. You'll always be the first one to be informed about a new video. Please share this video with your friends and see you next time.